What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Reality Kingdom. Period. Where we put the real in reality.
I'm real.
The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you.
And
that was Ashanti.
Without you.
Don't know what to say.
I literally sung.
Don't know what to say.
I was like, "This is Ashanti."
It was.
We're just talking
we
Ashanti
talk about
song.
Relationships and good as it got. Ashanti.
Period.
And that's all. Anyways, y'all, if you have never been here, that's what it's gonna be giving.
Welcome.
This is the motherfucking reality game. What we'll be doing this season is we will be covering. I just got depressed. Like the energy drained from me. We will be covering the digital dailies. We will be giving weekly recaps of the digital dailies, and we will also be giving you weekly player ratings of the players this season or whatever. So, baby, stay tuned. If you don't want to watch the show, good, because you can watch us.
Period. And we'll be way more interested in the show.
It will be way more interesting. We will tell you what's going on. So we'll be giving you updates.
Because we're watching every digital daily. We're watching every episode. Mm-hmm. And without feeds, we're going to know exactly what the fuck is happening. So,
now, for the schedule of it all, right? Every Friday we will be posting.
Every Friday, for sure. You will get a Friday post.
You're going to get a Friday post. On Friday, we will be giving you a general outlook of what the house is going on. We might be giving you a little bit more of the tea of who's HOH, who's veto, whoop. And then we'll also be rating the players based on the week prior, because Thursday is going to be the eviction. Friday is when we're going to post. Now, we might also give you an update of the digital dailies every Tuesday. We don't know yet, because we don't know what digital dailies is giving. The digital dailies are giving. But, baby, that's not why we're here today. Why are we here today, Lee?
We're here for the cast reaction and draft. Yet another draft that I plan to beat Pharaoh in. I have to give an update every time, because for the girls that
if you're new, I ain't want to draft.
Here you go. Drafting since BB17. Some of the girls already know this story.
Oh, the girls know. You say it every time.
I love it though. 17-10 in the draft. Pharaoh has lost the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, and about to be 8 and 9 with Survivor 44 and Big Brother Canada 11. So, I mean, y'all, please wish Pharaoh all the luck he can get. He will be picking first, as he's been doing. So let's hope that first pick was, influenced by God himself, because that's what he needs to win.
This is my bored face.
It's your bored face? It's your bored face?
I'm bored.
But you should be bored of losing.
I am. That's the issue. As you see today, we will be drafting the motherfucking Big Brother Canada house guest or whatever. I failed.
Oh, you dropped?
I dropped.
Okay.
Anyways, we will be drafting the Big Brother Canada draft or whatever. So what I'm going to do is, if you are a visual learner, feel free to go to the motherfucking YouTube, because on the YouTube we will have the images up of our draft, and also just the images of the players up or whatever. Also, if you are an auditorial learner, good, because you will be hearing us regardless, and you will be hearing some of the little snippets, the snips of the players as we choose them or whatever. So let's just get into it, right? Let's talk about the whole cast. Now, this is not the whole cast on the screen. It's like 4 more people. So this kind of like, boom, this them, right? Now, in general, the diversity initiative is still there.
It's always going to need some work.
Is it there?
And see, that's the thing. Big Brother Canada last season, BB Can 10, I feel like they leaned way more into the PLC side of things. It was more black and brown people. The PLC that they did get were all, I feel like more on the darker side. I feel like they were a little lighter this time. You know what I mean? It's 50%.
Right.
That's what it kind of looked to give.
It's more than 50%. But look, visually,
it's like, what a color at? But of course, you still have it. I think in general, it's never going to be perfect because of it's a 50% rule. It's not just we're casting the cast or we're getting an equal number. It's 50%. So, for example, you have people who are only representing their culture there. But, you know, this is the 5th season in the POC rule of Big Brother. Yeah. So, you know, it's still more than we would have ever asked for before the rule. So I'm happy to see it.
And I'm not. They need to do fucking better immediately. Period. I'm tired of this shit. Every single time, I'm just tired. I see a problem every season. Even last season when we got
Pharaoh would rather it be no one.
Period. Like, I'm sorry. Or one or two. Like we get of every other category.
Yeah.
Because last season when they got Marty, Gino, and Kyle, I was like, wait a minute. And then what happened?
Hopefully they learned their lesson.
You don't need casting. You don't need all of
Big
that.
Brother US and Big Brother Canada after the Kyles that were casted last season. I really hope the lesson is learned. If another situation happened where the POC are grouped together based on nothing but race, I don't know. The thing is, we probably won't even see it because they won't have live feeds.
We won't be seeing it, babe. Please. They will keep it under wraps.
That will suck. Because the thing is, what's hilarious about this is the end all be all is to not get us mad at people for being potentially very problematic and racist. It's not gonna work because Black people we can peep
through the screen, babe.
We know. So you can try and edit it out, but let me see Amal and Cooley type shit on the block. We know what the fuck that is. We're not stupid.
We can read between the lines.
They can try to hide it as much as they want, but I feel like I'll be able to peep it because it's clear when it's nothing but race because the strategy that really doesn't make sense behind it.
I would like to hope this is the first season that isn't directly after the cookout. Shout out to the cookout.
Shout out to the motherfucking cookout.
I would hope that they would throw it in the trap, like wrap it up.
Also, Big Brother Canada 9, 10, and Big Brother US 24 didn't have a cookout, didn't have any type of Black allegiances or anything like that.
So give it up.
It really shouldn't be a fear, in my opinion. So hopefully it's not something they're going to be really focused on. However, looking at the personalities of just preseason, I can see how, just for an example, throwing it out there, a Amal, a Kuzi, a Daniel could be close, a John Michael can be close. These are all POC. These are all people who can have similar personalities and gravitate towards each other. And a Nicola could be in that. And I can see, it's just, I'm already thinking about how it can be portrayed in that house. And because it happened literally twice in the US and Canada, it's like, I mean, we have to be aware of the possibility. Like, it can't happen. There's a good chance that POC players are moving forward going to be starting to get grouped together by fragile white people. I mean, it happened twice. It can happen again. And
that's the problem. And no shade to the casting team. Shout out to y'all, I guess. But that's the problem with the 50% shit. Because when you get half and half, you get half white people, half minorities, or generally around that area. Half people of color, half white people. It's like, it ends up being this, the white people need to stick together. But it's because it's an energy thing. If I'm in the house with somebody who look like me, I'm going to be vibing with somebody who look like me. And that's just how it naturally is going to happen. And that's why the lack of diversity is a problem regardless, because they're still not getting diversity all around, babe.
Yeah.
You need to get diversity all around. You need to get intersectionality. Some of these white people can be gay.
Different archetypes.
The gay people don't have to all be the POC.
Be POC.
Some of these white people can be the older.
And we've talked about this. We've talked about this several times. Carol mentioned this a lot. When we're casting, and this is across all fields, every, I think, reality show that has dedicated to casting by POC, it seems like the POCs, they're the ones who have the speech impediments, the disabilities, the things that will not necessarily, they're not going to be the majority in the house. You know what I mean? So, but when you cast the Caucasians, it's usually the same archetype. I mean, every Caucasian male here are athletic and an alpha. Yeah. Every Caucasian woman here are a pretty young girl. You know what I mean? The oldest one in the house is a POC. Yeah. So the plus size person is a POC. Yeah. The person with the people with accents are POC. So it's just like, you're putting it all in this group, and it's like that is not going to help. It needs to be more intersectionality, like Pharaoh mentioned.
Period. That's all. Other than that, the cat's still cute. They still get diversity. Big Brother Canada does well with getting diversity other than just black people or in one.
And I like that.
And
I
do
like that. Because
You
they
get
have a lot of
different
Asian, Middle
cultures.
Eastern.
Yes.
I have a lot of that. People in the house. And
Yes.
U.S. definitely does not get
Native.
Native.
Big Brother Canada eats it up with that. So shout out to them. But let's get into these motherfucking people or whatever. So we're gonna start the draft pick off like always, damn near. I'm gonna pick first because I keep losing. But hopefully it'll change, y'all. I don't know. My first pick. My first pick.
I'm scared, y'all.
Pick my first.
Calm down.
Okay, it is Big Daddy KB.
You're taking her first?
Big Daddy KB.
I did not think you would take her first.
KB. This is fucking. I don't even have to make up a name. This is Big Daddy K.
Mother is coming.
I don't know what to tell y'all. If y'all don't know why I picked her from just that video alone, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you.
She gives me, dare I say, Taylor Hale tea. When she said coming for her crown.
I
was giving like, this is Mother.
It was. Mother. It is.
I feel like I see a lot of upside for Kuzi. I really, really wanted her.
I love her. So I picked Kuzi because, first of all, that video alone, Mother. But also, literally, when we do her interview, she did an interview with Jed or whatever. Everybody did an interview with Jed. When we went through the interview with Jed, she mentioned that, first of all, she's actually a fan. And it's like, that alone, Mother. She's a super fan. She's one of the few super fans. When we were going through the interviews, it was like a lot of people they were super fans, but it's like, are you? No way. But she was actually a super fan. She's talked about like how she's going to be able to talk herself out of situations. She's very social. That she's going to be able to do anything to propel her. She had a really good energy. I think in the house, she's going to be very, very social. The only reason I was like, I guess a bit fearful was because of the idea of, potentially, I guess, her maybe not being somebody who I feel can fit in this cast. Like looking at the cast, there's a lot of alpha men. There's a lot of people who might showman's an alpha man. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if Kuzi's somebody who can actually get in on where she fits in on that. So that's the only reason I was scared. But other than that, I felt good. I don't know. I just feel like this cast as a whole is very confusing. So I'm not sure if Kuzi's someone who's just going to get left out or if Kuzi can be someone who can literally, I just don't know. Yeah. I really don't know.
No, so I agree on that. I just feel like I got overall from this cast, and I'm going to make this comment a few times, I feel like, is that this was a pretty low-key cast. So I can see how Kuzi, she seems like someone that's going to be very bubbly, very social, very just, I feel like, maybe more in your face with how she's playing. And that could be scary for her. However, she just seems like she's going to be someone that has a lot of connections. I can see a few people who she can connect with in this game. So I'm really excited. Y'all. And y'all already know the BPOC rule, one thing about a black woman, she's going to touch that final three. So...
Period.
It's giving Kuzi his top three secure. Her, my sister, Ma.
Period. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so Lee, it's your turn, Boosie.
My next pick. This is hard, y'all. This is hard. Because I feel like the people I like, I feel like I don't know where they're going to do in the overall game. But I just feel like I have to go with people who are fans. You know what I mean? Okay. So... he's actually second on my list.
What?
But I'm picking Daniel. I'm picking Daniel.
Wait, y'all, no, because this is going to be competitive because, baby, he was high on my list.
See,
he was like top 3.
I really, really like Daniel a lot.
Hold on, let me play his video first.
Okay, first.
Shit, if it low, never mind. Talk.
Go ahead and talk. So you may have to refresh. Yeah. So I like Daniel a lot. I feel like he said a lot of positive things. You know, he's an actual fan. He's in the org community. A lot of people know him through playing online games and things like that. I feel like he's someone that he knows the game. And that was a word, okay? Gary has gotten close. Josh has gotten close. Like, and I'm like, the amount of gay black men that have gotten second. And like I said, with Kuzi, I mean, a gay black man gonna make final two, top three. So it's gonna be up there. My only fear is just that, and when we start getting to those players, I do feel like this was not necessarily the best cast on initial reactions for Daniel. I do feel like there's a lot of people whose personalities, like I said, are very so-so, very on the chill side. And Daniel, in his ET Canada video and the Big Brother video, I feel like we've only saw his bubbly personality. So he says that he's able to, you know, he's going to be able to basically bro down with the boys and switch it up and things like that. But I'm ready to see that in the house. However, I feel like he will be able to do so. I like that one of his main strategies is like he's gonna get with his good sisters in the house, his good girlfriends, and they're in the showmans. You know, he's gonna basically control the showmans, use that to help himself. I'm really excited for Daniel. He's a player that is he is kind of the embodiment of a lot of us, like active on Twitter, in this Big B streets. Like, you know, I'm really excited for him. He gonna be mad that there's no feeds, probably. He probably don't even know.
Child, I was honestly, I was really excited for him too, but I put him a little bit lower, like my fourth or so pick. I just feel like I was worried, like you said, about the cast. There was a lot of people who mentioned they don't like big personalities and they want to be a little bit more chill. And he's basically saying the opposite, like, girl, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be me. And that's just me. And it's like, that's fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But we playing a game. And so it's like, that made me feel scared for him. There's a lot of alpha guys in here. Sure, he want to link up with the girl and maybe her showmans. That can work in, you know, on paper. But in the house, you got to execute it. So I was like, okay, I still really like him. He is a super fan, but I'm just scared for him.
It comes down to the execution. Like, will he be able to go in and actually? And it's not even on him, because the girls that are in showmances, they can completely fold for the guy, and Blue, he has no, you know, agency by working with that person. So you never really know. But I have high hopes for Daniel. I like him a lot, so I'm picking him. I will say, like, overall with this cast, I was telling this to Pharaoh, like, I don't necessarily have people that I'm like, oh, I know they're going to win, so I'm picking them. Or I feel like this person can really win. Like, I was kind of just going based off people that I like for the most part this time. Because when it comes to people who can win, I feel like this cast is kind of like, I don't know. Like, I really have no idea. I have ideas of who's going to work with who. Yeah. But, you know, Canada, it can be... I mean, anything can happen. Literally, expect the unexpected. Like, for real.
With Canada,
like, for real with Canada. Like,
child. Okay,
girl.
I don't know.
Somebody else I'm gonna be mad.
I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. I feel like this is
piss me off.
To me, I feel like this might be a sleeper, but I don't know, y'all. I'm finna pick Santina.
Wow, really?
The Il Nana. Hey.
I like Santina. I feel like the biggest thing I noticed with her, though, is because, I mean, the only content we've got so far is this clip that they, I feel like, filming their own, and then we have to interview with Jedson on ET Canada. And I just feel like a big thing I noticed with Santina is that on her ET Canada video with Jed, she was way more reserved. I don't know if she was nervous or what, but I watched all the ET Canada videos first, and then I watched the bio. So it was a shock watching
that she
Santina
was acting like this
in that clip. So I don't really know and that scared me a little bit. I have her at 8 out of 16 on my list, so I still feel like she can do well, because I think Santina's going to be someone that can. Well, this is the feelings I got from the ET Canada video. She's someone that's going to be able to blend in the background, and she's potentially smart enough to be able to make a move when need be. But I just feel like the total 180 I got in character from the clip, it just made me feel like I don't know what we're really going to get overall with her.
I see that. I liked the 180. I think when watching the clip it gave to me, this is how she is on her own. When she was with Jed, I was like, this is probably what she'll be like in the house, more so, a little bit more reserved. I think she has the potential to be social, but also not overbearing. And I think that's a good mix if you can play the game smart. Because if she's not standing out like someone who's annoying or someone who's too much, then she can make it past a few weeks. If she can make it past, and I think she can get invited into alliances. Yes. I think her personality is so neutral almost, in a way that anybody can probably relate to her. I can see the girls and the gays getting with her. I can see the boys wanting to align with Santina. Like, oh, if we need a girl, it's gonna be Santina. I can hear that already. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she's gonna be in a good position just because of her natural personality. And she said she's a fan, almost a super fan, kind of the game. She said she definitely wants to get in an alliance. She wants something like a 4. And I felt like her thinking strategically, especially with the interview, she was one of the people who I actually liked the way she was thinking strategically. She was like, I can't plan too much. I know I can't plan too much. I have a vague idea. I want a vague, maybe 4-person alliance, but I'm not going to plan too much. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take it how it comes. So I felt like her personality, she knew the game, she had a general idea. I have hope for her, honestly. I like that she didn't want to showmance. It could be weird this season because this season feels like it's going to have some showmances and she might need to get with that, but she's willing to flirt and shit. Maybe that's enough. And it's probably going to lead to a showman anyways.
I think the eligible bachelor and bachelorettes this season, I mean, I can see like I definitely see a showman's alliance happening. Like, but I feel like anyone could be in it. Like, this cast is gorgeous.
Yes.
Everyone in this cast is fine as hell. Every last one of them. So we'll see.
Who is Lee's next pick? I'm very excited.
I'm gonna go with. So I said earlier that Daniel was number 2 on my list, but I picked him first. So I'm gonna pick my number 1 pick on my list, which is John Michael.
Okay. Whew.
I loved John Michael. I really loved his personality, very bubbly. Literally, that last part was like my only fear with John Michael, because him saying that he wants to go after floater scares me just a little bit, because it's like, floaters are not going to be your main problem. Like, I see you as a floater along with some of your other allies, John Michael. That's why I picked him, because I think he's going to be someone that's going to be able to float between alliances. Usually, let's just be honest, the gay people on these shows, they don't get seen as threatening at all. And I can see John Michael being seen as someone who isn't too threatening. I feel like when it comes to having a bubbly personality, an in-your-face personality, he seems like he will be able to reserve it just a little bit more. I think that he kind of is the right size and things for competitions. I think that he can be a very good, well-rounded player. I think my only fear is just that when it comes to making strategic decisions, you never really know. I feel like I didn't hear too many necessarily like positive things regarding gameplay when it came to like the interview and the little bio clip. However, he does know the game. He's a super fan. So I feel like that means, when he gets in this house with someone like a Daniel, who's also a thinker, I can see him connecting really well with Daniel. That can help him a lot. I can just see him being very social, very bubbly, very all around the house. No one really targeting him. Unless he does become a comp beast, which I do see for him. I can see him winning a lot of competitions and he becomes a threat. And that way, hopefully, he's just able to manage his threat level.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was scared because he consistently, even in his interview with Jed, mentioned, I'm just not fucking with floaters. Like, I'm here to make big moves. I'm here to play this game, and that's not always the winning path. Exactly. You need to calm it down, baby. The last 4 winners haven't played like that, really. Well, kind of dang. But other than that, they haven't been playing like that. So I feel like that's something that can get him caught up, especially if he isn't in the position to be making a lot of relationships. If he's not in a good position, he can't be doing all that, because baby, you can get out. Like, people can easily take you out, because what happens is, like you said, a lot of the gay people, they get overlooked until they're not overlooked.
Yeah.
Johnny, Mitch, boom, boom. Like, until they're not overlooked. So it's like, I can see that path for him if he wants to play this way. So I want him to be way more reserved than he was acting. I still had him top 6, but he was number 6. Period. Now,
your list is totally different from mine. Then maybe we're not competitive.
I'm scared because that's the thing. It's funny because I'm scared because I am afraid that my next pick won't be picked by Lee, but the pick after that will be. So it's like I'm trying to pick the one that Lee is more likely to pick before he picks.
Well, don't do that. That's not the strategy, babe.
You sure? I just go in order?
It's not, babes.
I'm just scared because it would suck if...
Scared is going to get you to lose.
Listen. It would suck if I picked my initial person and you weren't even going to pick them. And then you picked the next person when I could have just had both my people. So I was like, damn, I want both my people. And they're interchangeable. Like Big D and
okay, Colin. Oh!
You said it! Nah, I'll play it. But they're interchangeable. So I'm like, is it really that bad? Maybe not. But it's like, damn, what if I fucked up? What do I do?
You're gonna lose either way.
I should just go with my.
You're losing either way. Just pick, babe.
I should just go with my list. I'm gonna be so mad if you pick them. Fuck. But I'm gonna be so mad if you pick them. So maybe I should just pick them.
You're gonna lose, babe. Just pick.
That's why I'm trying to win. That's why it's taking me so long. Y'all, I'm gonna be so mad. See, nothing. I don't want to be mad, so I'm gonna just do it. My next pick. Damn! What if you pick the other person?
I wonder who this other person is. I'm really curious now. I'll tell you if this person you're gonna pick is high. Let us know if this is the other person or who are you picking?
I'm gonna go with my original gut. What I wrote down.
Okay.
But what I wrote down was Dan.
Dan.
And I didn't think Lee had Dan high at all. So I was like,
14 out of 16.
Damn, I should have just did it. I should just did it because I was like, I don't think Lee has Dan high at all.
Nowhere soon by me. No.
Damn, and that means you're probably gonna pick my person. I'm gonna be.
That would be hilarious if I did.
So mad. I'm gonna be so mad. He's gonna pick my person. Can I take it back?
No.
All right, y'all. My next pick is Dan. Let's listen to him. I'm gonna tell y'all why I like him a lot. I think
I'm surprised. Actually.
I think he's a big ass sleeper. Like y'all finna get played.
I'm gagged. Actually, he gotta be the darkest of dark horses, bitch.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's giving that bad.
Call him Katy Perry, bitch. Because
period.
Notice how he ain't say shit about the game,
y'all.
shit about knowing the show.
Well, no one really did in their little bio.
They did. Koozie did. Daniel did. John
Anyways. I picked him because of his interview with Jed. Which was not terrible, actually. In his interview with Jed, it was hold on one second. Shit, playing it, mate. In his interview with Jed, I really, really liked it because when he mentioned what he wanted to do, how he wanted to play, he seemed very, very self-aware, way self-aware than I guess I would have just assumed, just based off of that. He said that he had a strategy. He wanted to make sure he gets an alliance, a 4 to 6 person alliance. He wanted to make sure he laid low at the beginning. He was scared to come off as a very big threat early on. He had all the like basic ideas of how to win Big Brother. I like that, and he just seemed very
1, 2, 3.
ABC 1, 2, 3. He just seemed very aware of exactly what he needed to do.
Aware of needing to get into an alliance. And laying low at the beginning.
He mentioned that
not Big Brother 101. I'm just saying.
I don't know. It sounds like you're mad. Did you want?
I did. I'm just confused, actually.
Maybe you need to rewatch his interview with Jed after this. Good luck. He said he wanted to build multiple alliances. He said he wanted to make sure he found the number one very fast. It's just all of the things that good players, Big Brother players, are planning to do. I really like that. He seemed very calm. I like that because similar to Santina, you need to be calm in that house to gain allies. Dan is someone that I think everyone is going to want to work with. He has the build, he has the body yaddy. I think the boys are going to work with him, and I think the girls and more of the POC, the minorities, the gays, they're going to feel more comfortable with him than they might feel with some of the other alphas because he doesn't scream alpha. He's the type to have a chance with everyone in that house. And he seems like he kind of knows what he's doing. He seems calmer. So I think that's going to help him. I don't know. I have high hopes for him. So
I think that was my thing. It's like, it doesn't, to me, I didn't get that he knew what he was doing. I think he's someone that's going to go in there, get into a showman and do nothing. Like Gino. I see Gino in him. And at the end of the day, from what we've noticed with this new era, it's not going to just take being a pretty face and getting into an alliance to win the game. And that scares me for him because I just don't think that he's going to be, he doesn't know Big Brother enough to know if it switches on a dime, if he gets in the alliance and this alliance breaks up, where is he going to go? Is he going to have the connections? Now, we keep mentioning, there's a lot of quote unquote alpha males, and he's less of the alphas, but I do think he can bro down with the rest that's in this cast. Yeah. If he ends up getting an alliance like that, and that is the powerhouse of the season, and there's no changing that, then I can see him going pretty far. I agree with that, but we know how Big Brother Canada is. We know how Big Brother is post by POC. I just don't necessarily see that being the structure that's going to take him to the end anymore, because it hasn't been in any of these seasons. Yeah. I'll be shocked. I do think because of the archetypes that it's possible an alliance like that could stay strong enough for him to like get more momentum. Because if he's able to get into like a showman's or alliance, or just a strong bro alliance, or both, you know what I mean? Then that is a good position for him. But is it a position because he's a beautiful, attractive male that can win competitions, or is it his own doing? And if it's not his own doing, will he be able to maintain that when the going gets tough? Because at the end of the day, Gino is a great example of someone last season who was in a great position based off how he looked only. Let's just be honest. That man didn't do shit else but be beautiful. No shame in this game, though. You know? And at the end of the day, he got taken out by a gummy bear by his closest ally. You can say Marty's an idiot, but Gino also let the shit
Dan just isn't giving that to me. He isn't giving that at all to me. He seemed very smart to me.
He's there for the experience, like he said.
That is not what he gives. You got to rewatch the Jed interview. You got to rewatch the Jed interview. You got to rewatch the Jed interview because it was not giving that
interview. But I mean,
it was not giving that. After that, I can see the initial. It's like, baby, who are you? But when I watch his actual,
the thing is, I do remember is the stuff you mentioned. Like, I want to get in the lines. That's ABC shit. You should.
It was the way he said it. It was the way he said
it. I'm not wrong.
I'm just nervous.
So on to my next pick, my winning pick. I fear.
No, please no, please.
I'm going to pick.
Please no.
Roberto.
Oh, I'm good. I
want to know who your other pick is now. Then
good. I'm good. You don't see it next. That's the gag.
So the reason, like literally, especially like hearing his video, remembering some of the Jed things. Basically, what you were saying about Dan is how I feel about Roberto. 1,000%. Like, I think he said some really, really good things, especially in the Jed interview. Like, he mentioned that he is a pretty social person. Him being a gym manager, he has to work with a lot of people and things like that. And I feel like I believe that. First of all, look at him. A lot of people are going to work with him because of the way he looks. He's going to easily get into a showman. He's going to easily be able to bro down with someone like a Dan. But I can also see him being close with a John Michael or a Daniel. I think that he is going to be someone that can spread himself across the house. And I can see him being able to actually take control more so of his position than a Dan. I see a lot of high hopes for him. I really do. Like, other than just the body yaddy. I promise y'all, it's not just the body yaddy. The body yaddy.
I kind of felt a little bit how you felt about Dan, about Rob.
So you're just delusional.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I felt like Roberto, he literally mentioned one of the things he mentioned. He's like, "Oh, I'm just not sneaky. I'm not a villain. I want to just be loyal and
authentic."
Sure. And you can play the game that way, and I think it can work, which is I didn't have him low. He was like in the middle of my area. But I was just like, it didn't seem like he's going to be able to play that big brother game. I think he's going to be loyal to his lines, be down with the ground, loyal to the soil.
Have a showmance.
Loyal to the soil, have a showmance. But it's like, that's just the ABC of it all. You can win that way, but in new age, BB Canada, can you win that way, babe? You gotta be making the moves. Okay.
I think he can. It's all about can you turn that cutthroatness on like a tight.
I don't think he can. He literally said he doesn't want to, basically. He basically said he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be sneaky. He doesn't want to be a villain.
But it's not about necessarily being sneaky, it's just to turn it on. You know what I mean?
I don't think he can. I don't think he will. I don't think he will want to.
Well, we'll see.
I think
we'll see.
And I don't think it's a bad pick. I just didn't.
I think for the most part too with him because I've got my first 3 picks on my list, so I ate that up. He was number 3. I just felt like
number 3.
Looking at the overall cast, it's perfect for Roberto. I think there's a lot of attractive women who are looking for showmances. There's a lot of men like Dan and the few others that are coming that we're going to talk about who are going to obviously gravitate towards Roberto. Yeah, he's someone that can win physical competitions when they do have them. So it's just, I think that he is going to be a well-rounded player. Yeah. Now, his knowledge of the game, I don't know how much of it is. I don't think there's much. However, he just has the basic essentials and fundamentals. And I feel like I can see how Dan has those as well, which he does. It's just I'm leaning more towards Roberto. Like I think that he's the winner out of the 2. And it came down.
Sure. I just
want to show your pick a little bit more.
I don't know. He also just mentioned like, I don't really get along with loud personalities. There's a lot of those there. So if you don't get along,
I feel like it's a good mix this time though. It's a lot, but it's also kind of like.
The way he said it made me feel like he's going to be antsy about it. And I can see a lot of people rubbing a lot of those type of people the wrong way. And if you're rubbing half the house the wrong way, even if you're in that good majority, because I do think he can get in a good little group. But if the opposition of that group kind of feels like you're at the head of it, you're gonna go, babe. And I feel like he could get caught up in being that head of the opposition, being that accidental leader. Yeah. And it's like, that's gonna be hard to break out of if it does end up in that way. Next, I'm going to pick. You didn't pick my next pick.
Okay. Who is it? Is this it?
I don't know if this is gonna be it. I don't know if you gonna be gagged or you're gonna be like, girl, this was at the bottom too. My next pick is Shania.
She was my next pick.
Oh, okay, I got you. Period.
Yeah, everyone loves Shania.
Love Shania.
Shania.
And get it right. Get it
so
tight.
Easily. But Shania, everyone's gonna love Shania. I already know.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking she'd get along with everyone. Also, when she mentioned her type, it screamed Dan, and I was like, if a showman,
I feel like it's Stream Roberto. He has the tattoos a little bit.
He does have the tattoos, but she was like rings and earring and piercings, and that was Dan. I was like, she was giving. I want to rock her boyfriend. You know,
the thing is, though,
I want to rock.
That's interesting. That's true. That's true. Because I think Shania, she's a little bit off. You know what I mean? She's fine as hell, and she can also, like she said, play Zelda. So I think she's someone that is well rounded. And you're right. I can see that meshing with Dan really well. That would be an interesting duo, though, because I think she runs him. Because this is my biggest thing about Shania.
I see that too.
My biggest fear about Shania is another girl in this cast who I felt like they're really pretty girls, really smart girls, but they could get into a showman and that can ruin them. That happens with a lot of women in Big Brother because they get into a showman and then just the way the situation plays out, they're not.
They're secondary. They're not priority.
Exactly. And I would hate for that to happen to Shania, but Shania seems like her personality is just, that's impossible.
Impossible.
And if she's with Dan, I just feel like it's never going to happen because
I think she can do it to a lot of these men, actually. This season, there's alpha men, but they all seem like they can be, a Derek to a Kayla. They all fit in a secondary
if the women are not going to just, because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Don't do shit like a Jason Lynn.
Yeah.
She ain't doing shit but taking care of her man. Which, hey, I understand.
I would also.
Like that, I would too.
But Shania was
on the side. I think Shania is going to consistently play the game. Like, for example, you have someone like Daniel that's mentioning, I want to be able to get with those girls who are in the showmans to use that for safety. I can see that. I can see Daniel and Shania being real cool and that coming to help him a little bit, things like that. So I think she's going to be a player that can utilize all sides of the house. I'm just hoping she doesn't throw it away for a showman or some man or something like that.
I agree. No. She has so many good strategies too. She was like mentioning how she wants to strike when needed. She wants to lay low and then strike when needed. And that's what the fuck you need to do in Big Brother. You need to be able to chill or whatever, make your alliances. And she also said she wants her toes.
I just don't want her to get no showman. I
don't want to either.
I feel like there's going to be some.
But no, she explicitly said, she was the one who said in her interview, if I get in the showmans, I don't want to be that dumbass girl who got in the showmans. That was her. Yeah, she said that. So it made me feel like even if she was falling into it, she's gonna like force herself to not do that. She's gonna actively be like, hold up, wait a minute. And I like that. Or she's gonna enter it thinking, I'm running him. This is gonna be my goal. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna run him. And both of those are highs for me. So I really, really like that. Period. I don't know what to tell you.
I hate this because you always end up picking all the girls I want, and then I get left with all the men.
Shout out to the men. Maybe the men. I hope you don't pick my next pick, but you probably are, honestly, looking at the rest of the people.
My next pick is another Big Daddy.
Yeah. This is my pick. This is my pick. I think he's gonna do good.
Big Daddy. Now, I just peeked him and said athletic girl. So, I can see a Santina maybe. We're going to get to her, but Claudia is pretty athletic. So, I mean, we'll see. I feel like well, in general, when it comes to drafting this cast, like, I was very unsure of who to pick, like, past the first, like, 4 or 5. Like, literally, my first 5 is John Michael, Daniel, Rob, Kuzi, Shania. After that, I was just like, honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not necessarily gravitating towards any of them enough to feel like they could potentially win necessarily. So like Ty, like I feel like he's someone. I spoke about it with Roberto, and Farrah spoke about it with Dan. Someone that he has the necessary essentials. Like we said, he is someone that can fit in the category of alpha bro. He's also a personal fitness trainer. Roberto is a gym manager. Hello. And and then you also have someone who's like Dan, who he's all, but if he needs to, I can see his personality.
But a man
with the alpha bro. And you also have the fact that Dan wants to show man's Ty just said he's superbly single.
And Robert gonna get into something.
All of these things could, these are three people on this thing: Ty, Rob, and Dan, who could each have a showman. So they could be one big alliance. They're all alpha, and it's just like, oh god, don't want that timeline. But if it does happen, that would be a really good position for him. In his Jet interview, he mentioned a lot about building alliances. Like he is going to be someone, reminds me of Herman from BB Can 10, where he needs an alliance. He wins that first situation, it's going to be a cute 6, 7, 8 person alliance, and he's going to keep that group of people to move throughout the game. That's why I can specifically see a showman's alliance, because if he bros down with Roberto and then Dan is there with some other girl, and then maybe that other girl is close to one of the other girls, they all can. I can see a cute ass showman's alliance. Now the stability of that you never really know. He basically just said he can get distracted. So if he gets with someone that is, a little bit more playing the game, that could really mess him up. But I don't really know. I think he can go really either way with him. I don't necessarily think winner, only because I feel like there's a lot of, like, for example, he spoke a lot about alliances, but if he's not able to build those alliances like a Herman, what does that do? You know what I mean? Herman was fighting from the bottom until he got clipped.
Yeah.
And that was because Herman was savvy at the game. I don't think Ty, because he won't be.
They have the same name. They have the same nickname.
I don't think Ty will be necessarily able to pivot. Maybe it didn't give me that, and then also the whole superbly single is like, but those necessary fundamental, as long as with this cast. I picked him.
I agree. I like the pick. I had him next. You took him for me. So I support. I think he will have a really good chance. He seemed like smart, but it's like, is it Big Brother smart? Is it like, can you actually maneuver, strategize?
Exactly.
And blah, blah, blah? Or is it just like, I'm a smart guy.
So I also don't necessarily feel like, I'm saying a lot of negative, but everyone from here on out is probably going to have a lot of negative, y'all. I'm not even going to lie. But it's like, I don't necessarily think his social game would necessarily be that well. I think I can see him get into a showman, get into his alliance that he wants, and not talk to anybody else.
Yeah, I can see that too. He mentioned he doesn't like loud people either. I don't think he means it that much as maybe Roberto does, but I do think he could be someone who, similar to Roberto, if they are in a power position and something happens where the power shifts, what you gonna do, Buki? What you gonna do if the power shifts? And I'm not confident that he can do much other than get his ass taken out on the wrong person's HOH, on a random ass HOH. So that's why it's like, ooh, girl, good luck. Because he might even be, if we get the wrong first HOH, somebody can be like, I'm putting up the two strongest men. And it's like, it depends on who wins these comps.
Because that's another thing too.
Good luck.
I'm basing it. All 6 of them, like these 3 dudes can link up with their showmances, right? That doesn't matter if y'all can't win in them competitions. The competitions are different. I'm hoping that's something they're keeping. I'm pretty sure it is though.
Yeah.
So it's like just because he's a fitness trainer, just because Rob is as fit as he is, doesn't mean they're gonna win everything.
Yeah. All right, y'all. My next one. Y'all ready to hear Lee drag for 30 minutes? Because he's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I know for a fact this is Lee's number 16. No, number 15. This is Lee's number 15.
I wonder if it actually is.
Boom. Jonathan
13.
Leonard. Oh, not that bad. Well, not good. Boom. Okay, I know before y'all drag.
Accent is so strong. Good Lord.
Big brother. Okay, y'all.
I love it.
I know y'all finna be like, what the hell? But let me tell you the tea. The reason I chose him was solely because of, in his interview with Jed, he said he's a super fan.
Yeah.
I said, shit, that's enough for me. Like,
but is it a super fan like Marty, also from New Finland, is a super fan?
Marty almost won. Unfortunately, the jury was like, we would vote Marty.
Girl, that jury was on drugs. Let's be honest. They were saying anything during the jury.
I think I'm not confident at all. He could easily go in there and do nothing. But what I did have hope in is the fact that he said he's been watching since season 1 and he's a super fan. Sometimes it baffles me when people are super fans and they genuinely don't play the game, but it happens all the time. And this could easily be one of those situations. But he mentioned that he was asked by Jed. Jed was like, okay, you got a family and stuff, but are you going to manipulate? Like, what are you going to do? And he said, he was like, you know what? in real life, I'm not a manipulator, but in that game, I'm gonna have to. Like, this is Big Brother, and that answer made me a little bit more comfortable with him. But he probably was just saying anything. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I just don't have much to go off of from him. Like, I really don't. Just because I mean, you saw his video. He mostly talked about being a dad, being a family
Didn't
man.
seem that social either. Sorry.
He didn't seem that social, but he has one of those personality types. So I think people, he's someone that if he ends up in a group, I can see him ending up in a group easily because of his easygoing personality. Now, I just never know if the core is a showmance. He's married. He's not getting into a showmance. You know what I mean? But I can see a showmance core / bro alpha group. I can see him being in that. I don't really know who else he's going to connect to in this house necessarily. Because if there is a showman's alliance and he can't infiltrate that, then he is screwed. You know, of course I'm just throwing shit at the wall, but I'm just like, I don't know where Jonathan is going to go in this game. And then historically, Newfoundlanders, I mean, they get far, but they don't necessarily win. I think John won. He's their one winner. But usually I think they make it pretty far because from my understanding of Newfoundland, I'm not from Canada, but they are some really nice people. Like, they seem like really cool, chill, nice people. So I can see why they consistently make it far, because some of the other ones will be like, what, Tina? Wasn't she from Newfoundland? A lot of people like Marty. I don't know why. And a lot of people like John type shit. So it's just like, I can see him going pretty far because he's really, really nice. He's really, really sweet. I can see a lot of people not necessarily wanting to target Jonathan either. That's a big thing. Target Jonathan for what? What is he doing? But you never really know. I mean, there's a Canada's favorite. He probably win it because one thing the Newfoundland is gonna do is votes.
Period. Who's your next pick, King?
My next pick is the next pick on my list. I don't want. I was evaluating. I'll tell you who that is whenever they eventually come up. But I'm going to skip to Renee.
Oh, okay.
I liked Renee. I really, really liked her personality. So I really love Renee. I think her personality is really, really bubbly. I think that she is someone who could easily slip herself into a showmance, which I can see how in this cast could be really, really good for her. I can see how she could be making connections with someone like Daniel, someone like Santina, someone like honestly anybody in this cast. I can see her really making some really good connections. It's just do we trust Renee to be able to use those connections to her benefit? You know what I mean?
We don't.
She's one of the people who kind of mentioned like I would love to be in like an all-girl alliance or something like that, but I wouldn't want to be those girls that kind of get played out in a showman. So it's just like, at least she's mentioning that the thing happened, but it's like, is she gonna also fall into that? I don't know. You know what I mean? So that scares me a lot. But I feel like if she is able to not get brought down by that potential, then she can be set up really, really well in the game. I like her a lot.
I had Renee in the same area. I just felt like it was giving same kind of what you said. Like, are you gonna do what you think you can do? Renee she thinks she can run somebody, and actually you're being ran.
I hope
that's what she screams. She just screams. She thinks she know what the fuck she's doing. She's like the type of player to win an HOH, and it's like there's something she should do, and she does the opposite.
Yeah, I can see someone like Loki kind of convince her to do something she shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
But it's like but at the same time, it's like hopefully she's around people that it all depends on what situationship you're in. If she is like, let's say this showman alliance happens that I keep manifesting at this goddamn point. I need to shut up.
Yeah.
Then it just depends, because if she ends up getting that's an alliance where I can see like a lot of times the guys in that alliance are more so leading it in those type of groups, and then the women are kind of on just the back burner. But I do feel like the women in this season, they just have such strong personalities. Like, I think any of these women who were to get into the showman, they could still, be someone active in the game, not just sitting there cooking and cleaning all day, like Jason O'Shea. So it's just, that's what I really, really hope. That's what happening. I gotta pray for. At this point, I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not confident in usually I'm confident in my list. I'm not that confident at all. I'm also not confident in Pharaoh's list either. I don't know who.
Well, then you're confident in nobody. It's just this season. It's just not predictable. It doesn't feel. Child, my next one. Honestly, y'all, it's to the point where it's like, I don't really know who I'm gonna pick. I'm like, am I gonna go with my list? But I think I'm gonna just go with my list. So the next person on my list, they were above Renee, is Amal, y'all.
I wanted
Amal, y'all. Amal, y'all. I love Amal. Now she said everything I love about her, and she said everything why she's one of my lower.
And that Amal would be much higher if she just didn't say that one thing.
Because literally, I like Amal. She's
being an alliance. I'm like, Amal, baby, no,
please.
She's
a super fan. Well, she's a big fan. At least she's like, I don't want.
No one felt comfortable saying that. No one felt comfortable being like super fan other than Daniel. Everyone else was like, I'm
kind of a super fan. So she's kind of a super fan. That's what made me kind of like her a little bit. But her saying she doesn't want to be in alliance, I was like, girl, what?
Yeah.
However, I kind of felt like she's not gonna have a choice. I was like, it's okay because even in this cast, just looking at this cast, she's just gonna naturally vibe with a certain group of people. It's giving split season, if I'm being for real. It's giving splits. It's giving this gonna be a side, this gonna be a side. The competitions are way more fair now, so I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. But Amal is someone who could easily vibe with the other people who are just confident in their skin. But that pisses people off. People hate confident people. Amal knows who the fuck she is. She's wants to be who she is at 1000% energy, and she doesn't give a fuck about anybody. And that's similar to how Daniel is. I think they're going to be really, really good friends. I think they can all vibe with a lot of people. I think she has a group of people who she could get along with. But she said she's after the alpha dogs, and if you're after the alpha dogs, she seems like someone who will say that in the house, and it'll get back,
or it'll just be obvious,
and they'll take them out, or it'll be obvious. She will ignore. She's kind of the type to like, I'm just not gonna talk to them. And it's like, you can't be doing that.
Well, it's also kind of the situation where, like, for example, once these men start linking up with the women in the showmances, it's like they kind of link off together. And if Amal isn't in that, she's not going to be in that. Like, if we look at the screen right now, if it is a split house, it's giving Daniel, John Michael, Amal, Kuzi,
and then everybody else
versus everybody else,
and then everybody else.
Scary. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's why I'm kind of like, okay, these scenarios can take place because of who's in the house. But then you have people like Shanae, you have people like Renee, who I do think will be
someone like Ty, who could relate more to. He could potentially relate more to a Kuzi rather than a them, and that's like a hope. Or even a Santina, and a Santina is cool with all of these other people, and he's like, well, I'm cool with all of these other people. So it's like it's like a hopeful kind of thing. But if we're looking at the history of Big Brother, baby, it's just giving.
And I think what scares me about Amal is that, like, I think she could easily end up in that position, like of kind of like how Betty ended up in the beginning of BB10, where it's just like there are connections forming. She's more connected with people that she is just naturally forming those connections with. She's not strategically looking for relationships; she's just naturally forming them. And Betty, it took her a minute to kind of get her foot ahead of her and really get in the game. And unfortunately, I can see that path for Amal because usually I think her archetype or people with her personality types and Big Brother, it is easy for them to kind of become that pariah. Because in a season like this, where I feel like there are so many people who are eligible bachelors and bachelorettes who are looking for showmans and things like that, and she's saying she's not looking for an alliance, I think that's just can easily, bloop, she's out. It just depends. But I really like Amal. She's one of the main reasons why I'm upset that we don't have live feeds. I feel like she would have been great, fun TV to watch on live feeds. Hopefully she'll eat up the digital dailies, I guess. But I can't wait to see her in the house play that game. And like I said, a black woman is making Final 3. That's signed and delivered. Somewhere when they made this, they put in the clause a black woman will be in at least Final 3. So we know Amal or Kuzi is going to be there.
Period. So there's that on that. Lee, who was your next pick?
My next pick, once again, I'm skipping the nigga who is literally higher than him. I'm skipping two people that's higher than this person because at this point, I'm picking anybody. I'm gonna go with Hope.
Okay, I like that. That was my next pick.
Hope. I don't like Hope's Jan interview because one thing about Hope, the key word is adapt. I really, really like Hope. Like I said, I watched all the ET Canada videos first, so I will say his was one on the lowest because, like I said, it didn't feel like he had any real answers. It was just, I'm gonna adapt. Which you can see is a good thing too, because you really shouldn't have a plan going into Big Brother. People who go in saying, I'm gonna have this alliance, I'm gonna align with this type of person, this type of person, this type of person. It's not good because that's not how the game is going to go up to. You don't know who's going to be in that house. You don't know what archetypes you're going to be able to play with. So you can't formulate a strategy. But it felt like he had zero strategy, which is also like a bad thing. You got to have some plan. But I guess the plan is to adapt. I really like him. I think he's going to be able to connect with a lot of people in this game. I think so, like how I mentioned, the potential splits. I can see Hope getting into a showmance. I can also see Hope being broing down with the bros. Like, specifically, like I said, him, Ty, and Rob, they're all fitness dudes. They're going to bond over that, point blank, period. So that is something that's going to have to bond over. You know, you have Ty and Hope, who are both black men. So it's like, that is something that's obviously going to have some of a connection there. So but I think he's also going to be able to connect with, I think, people on the other side of the house, because he has a loud, bubbly personality. Someone like Daniel, someone like John Michael, people like Kuzi, things like that. I think he can also make a connection with them because he's from Ghana. Kuzi's from Zimbabwe. It's like so he can make connections, I think, across the entire field. It's just with Hope, similar to like a Ty, it's like, I don't know. Ty and Rob, it's like, will they be able to pick it up based on their knowledge of the game? You know, you kind of have to either learn how to play in the house or have an idea coming in. And my fear is just that he has almost no knowledge. You know what I mean? He's not a fan at all. But I think he has a good understanding. He wants to lay low. He wants to make connections. He's aware. He said, look at my body. Like, people are going to be intimidated, you know? And I do think when he's laughing and giggling and being his bubbly self, people are not even going to look at all of that. I think I high hopes for Hope.
Yeah. Honestly, I see like a totally different type of division potential also. Considering like the people left, I'm like, some of these people could be like left out. And that would be interesting because one of these people is like an alpha, and I'm like, you could get left out. So
that and this next, but his alpha, the next episode, I know you're talking about. It's like he an alpha, but he's like a.
That's thing, but him getting left out could really try to change the trajectory of kind of what I'm hoping doesn't happen. We got 4 options. I don't know who I'm gonna pick, y'all. I'm like, am I gonna pick the person we talking about? I was like, it's not given. I don't see much.
Whenever we get to them, like I'm gonna explain.
I just don't see much at all of anybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just pick him. I'm picking Zach.
So this is the person who I had him high. I
had him
high after the ET Canada video with Jed. Okay. I brought him way low after watching this video. Okay. And then after just reevaluating, I was like, I want to bring him high, but then it's just watch the video and we'll see. We'll discuss.
It always gave low to me, but.
And this is why it was the up and down. Now, if you want to go watch the Jed ET Canada video, it's on ET Canada YouTube. I think in that interview, he was way more just there. You know, I feel like in that video, he was a little bit in his head, a little full of himself, no shade. But in the Jay interview, he was having a real conversation. He was explaining his strategy. You know, he spoke about being a fan. He speaks about, you know, building an alliance, having a loyal ally, like Batman, Robin type thing. He was saying a lot of good things about being a social player and things like that. And I felt like with him having that alpha personality that I could tell and him wanting alliance, that's going to connect with someone like a Rob and Ty, who I can just see in good positions. But when you watch that video, he's insufferable.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian?
He can very much so be left out of that. That's what I'm thinking. Diets? Like if a Hope Ty and Rob link up, I can see them being like, not Zach but Dan. Or not Zach, but let's get a girl.
Just anything can be that big. Not every of these alpha quotations males
exactly.
In this alliance.
I can see him getting left out, but I know
let's be real, he's insufferable.
I know people like him, and what I know about him is that's not real. All of that we just saw, that is 100% forced. He is making himself to be this AA type alpha person. And it can transcend in the house, but also it could retreat. He could get intimidated and change his entire personality. People like that are forcing their personality, which means they can switch it up at a dime. I genuinely think we can see Zach in the house and he could be the opposite of what the fuck he's acting like right now. Because he's retreating. I think that he has the potential to pretend to not be how he is, or to actually just not really genuinely be that cocky, and he's just doing that because he feels like he has to succeed in life. That's how they feel. They feel like they need to be like this to succeed. It's hard to turn that off, though. So when he gets in the house, I think he's going to be the same. That's exactly when Amal said she don't fuck with them people. He was that. He was casted in contradiction to Amal, but he's not gonna have. I don't see him making bonds. I don't think Ty necessarily is gonna want to work with him if he's acting like that. I just don't. I'm not confident that he will act like that.
Yeah.
I think he will come in the house, see a lot of black people, and be like, "Hold up, dead ass, a lot of ziggers." He's gonna see a lot of ziggers, and he's gonna be like, "Oh wait," and I think he's gonna act very differently. I notice the people who I know in real life who act like that, if they're not around a group of white people, they don't act like that.
Who are just necessarily
they don't act like that. They don't act like that
the
to
personality.
people. Exactly. If it's a totally set of people, which it is, there's a lot of diversity here. He's gonna have 2 gay people in the house. He's gonna have a lot of black women. There's gonna be people who might be offended by the things he says. A lot of women in general who probably aren't gonna like the things he says. He's probably not gonna act anything like that. And if he doesn't,
the reason why we have digital dailies.
And it literally.
Because he about to go in there doing a whole bunch.
And if he doesn't feel comfortable and he does switch it up, like I think he might, he could technically. I think he could do a little bit better. I think he could do kind of good because he had a strategy, like Lee said in Jed interview. He had a strategy. He had an idea. He wanted to work with people. He was like, I can play this game. I've seen only season 1 and 2, but I know what I need to do to get to the win. So I think he has a potential as long as he's not being insufferable. And I think because the cast is diverse, he might not be insufferable just because of that, literally.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a bunch of white people, it would have been over. He's so over.
Yeah, no. So thank God for the BIPOC rule. I just think also there's a good chance that he's only playing this part, not just for that, but for the video itself. Because remember Kevin was being really, really weird in my opinion in his cast video, and he went in there and literally the greatest of all time. So he could go in there and, like you said, retreat, but not even necessarily naturally, just because he was only
that wasn't him in the first place. Yep.
Because it do seem like a show, like the Kim Kardashian of
like you wanted to get on, and you got on.
Carnivore diet, he eat a steak every morning. Is that even healthy?
Girl, there's 3 people left.
If even a sliver of their personality is real, he's not winning. He's not making it far at all. Like no one's gonna want to fuck with that. He's insufferable.
I agree. We got 3 people left.
The last 3, the big 3. Some would say. Last but not least. I'm gonna go with Claudia.
I thought you would. She's the higher of the 3 that I have also. I don't think I would
Claudia. I mean, she's the last 3. So I mean,
y'all finna see this girl ain't saying nothing, y'all. Please.
No shade, I was the last 3 and it wasn't giving on none of them. Now that's what
I hate to say. I think her and Ty gonna be a showman.
But that's the thing. I thought that at first I was like Shania and Rob because of the tattoos. But you're right. Shania and Dan seems a little bit more sense. I think it's Claudia and Rob. I think it's Claudia and Rob.
I can be Claudia and Ty. I think it can be Claudia and Ty.
She said, well, first of all, the reason why I don't think it's Ty at all is because she said tall, dark, and handsome. When white women say tall, dark, and handsome, they don't mean anyone that's actual dark. They mean the dark hair.
It's just giving Beth.
It does give a little bit.
And you know what Beth meant.
But also another reason why it also could be Ty is because Ty mentioned that he likes people who are athletic, so we don't know if But like I said, usually when people say tall, dark, and handsome,
but Ty is
objectively
fine. It doesn't matter. I think anybody would want Ty. He's just objectively the finest person in the house.
I mean, that's a true statement, but color I'm just saying.
I think.
I'm not saying she is, but I'm just saying. There are people in the world who look at Ty and think he's the ugliest thing walking just because he's half black.
That's true.
Like you can't say that. You cannot say that. Of course, he's objectively fine.
That's 1,000% true.
The only thing she said was tall, dark, and handsome, and we know tall, dark, and handsome does not mean the skin color. So to me, that leads me to think that she's not even going to be looking at him. She's going to be looking at a Rob or a Dan.
I can definitely see that too.
Because she also said tattoos. Ty doesn't have tattoos. Rob and Dan has tattoos. So now
I can see more of a Rob.
Because the people
definitely.
I think the really, really eligible would be Claudia. She looking for something. Shanae and Renee are looking for something. I think this is the 3 that could perfect a showmance alliance, connecting with a Ty, a Rob, and a Dan. But now I'm thinking if Shania is with a Dan and a Claudia is with a Rob, who's Ty gonna be with? Renee?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really know. So it'll be interesting. The thing about Claudia, the reason why I didn't have it that high is because I don't necessarily see I don't know how she's gonna be game wise. It
gave nothing. Let's be for real.
It really gave nothing.
It gave Airhead down.
I was happy that she mentioned the girl in line, but she also basically said in the same breath, if a tall, dark, handsome man in the house, I'm gonna just go with him. And I could easily see that fate for her just because we got so little of anything else. So I don't really know how she's gonna be on the game level, but I could also see her maybe not being in the showmance. There. And if that happens, then I don't know where she's gonna go. I can really only see her being in some sort of showmance for some reason. I don't know why, but imagine
that's her only
I'm
path.
expecting all of these showmances and none of them happen.
There's no showmances, or there's a showmance we ain't never thought would happen. Child, y'all, these last two, honestly, it's harder than I would thought it was because I have like kind of weird thoughts about both of them. I'm like, could you? Could you?
I mean, if it's down to these two, I at least want the mother.
It's like, what's worse?
Give me the mother, please.
The literal mother?
No. You know who mother is on the last two. Let me have mother.
Sorry.
You're gonna take her.
No, I'm just saying sorry for taking some time. I'm just not confident in either of these people. But you know what? I'm a big Vanessa, the mother, the actual mother.
Period.
I'm picking Vanessa. It was actually hard. I genuinely wanted Anika, honestly, but hey,
that was
cool. I'm just not confident at all.
Yeah.
I don't think the strategy ever works. That little mom, I want to be everybody's mom strategy. If you're going to be the oldest woman in the house, you kind of just got to choose a different strategy. You kind of got to blend in. You have to pretend that you're their friend, like Tiffany did. You have to like pretend or just work with them as
no one wants to be in the Big Brother house with their mom.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to give mom. So that's why she was my last pick. I like that she watched every season. She's technically a super fan. I was kind of thinking, maybe she's just saying things in her video, but she wouldn't actually play what she's saying. But I'm not necessarily positive of that. I'm not sure where she can fit in on this cast. This cast is a very young cast. It doesn't look like she has many places to go. I'm not sure what outs she has or like what kind of I don't know. She would just have to shockingly be very strategic, which could happen.
Yeah.
But that's honestly the only option for her. And then the last person we have.
Yeah. And then with Vanessa, I just feel like I really liked that she is thoughtfully going into the house with that strategy. Like, I want to be the mom. I'm going to go after the alphas, which I feel like are a lot in here, and I'm going to do their laundry. I'm going to cook. I'm going to, I can see her. Yeah. I can see people seeing her as useful in the house, but how long is that going to take her? No one's going to want to work with you if they see you as your mom, as the mom. They're going to think you're expendable. They're going to think you are as a floater, someone that John Michael could take out. You know what I mean? It's like, that is what scares me for me, and I don't think she's talking a good talk. Like, I'm going to be their mom and do this and manipulate them and move them forward. But it's like, are you actually going to be able to do those things? Because if this alpha has a showman, so she comes first, babe. So,
and I could see a world where if we had feeds at all, we could see her night one feeds walking up to somebody like, is this a final two? I can see her gaming hard. I can see like this just being, her persona, and then her going in and being a hard gamer. But even her as a hard gamer may not work because maybe where do you fit in? You need to make friends.
And that's more so on the casting. I mean, she's the oldest one here.
Yeah.
It's only one of her archetypes. She's the only mother in the cast. It's like, what?
Last but not least.
It feels like they saw
the honestly, I wish I picked her.
It feels like they saw the face card. They probably saw her on social media, and it was like, we need her in the house. They casted her purely for personality, and that is what scares me. And she's only seen one season. She says she's going to wing it. Everything, when someone is saying describe her, not nice. Wow.
Arrogant. People don't really like
me. No. So the thing is, it could be one of those things. Because I feel like it could be one of those things like a Kevin or a Zach, like we just mentioned. Like, she's saying all of that because this is a personality she has to go on with. It's very clear that they probably casted her to be this, so she's giving it. She's giving us what we want. But that's not what she's going to go in the house be like that. Yeah. However, because she's not a fan, even if she's not being like that, is there other things that she's going to miss just because she doesn't know? She's only seen one season, and I bet it wasn't in full.
She's seen some of one season.
There are just natural things that a fan has to pick up on, and because she's not just this alpha archetype that always does good, it's bad for her. Yeah. That's the only scary thing, and that's a big, big scary thing, because I would hate for her to be like a first boot or something like that. But at the end of the day, it still sucks. I'm happy that she's on the cast, but I just think, why would Big Brother cast anyone that's only seen one season and plans on winging it? Like, I love her personality, I do, but it's just like, there had to have been people who know the game a little bit more. I never like casts who are more so casual than fan, and I think this cast is more so casual.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's going to turn the game out, you know? BB24 was a pretty good season, and most of them were casuals, too. So, well, it had its good points. So we know everything that happened with Taylor. And, but, I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm really optimistic about this cast, but specifically Anika. I mean, y'all saw the video. I mean, I can't pick a first. She said she only seen one season. Like, that's definitely someone who would have been early in the pick if she had been a fan. If she came in here, I'm a super fan. I've seen every season, but I'm still this and this. I'd be like, okay, she could be hired because she at least knows the game. She knows she can't go in there being like that. I don't fully know that she knows she can't go in there being like that because she's not a fan.
Yeah. Period. So y'all, here are our draft picks. If you are a visual learner, then you need to go to see it visually.
So let's go ahead and list them. Shall I say mine? You say yours?
You say yours, and I'll say mine.
The winning draft team
I don't know about that.
Is Daniel, Renee, John Michael, Hope, Rob, Claudia, Ty, and Anika.
Now, did that sound like the win?
One of them are winning, and you're mad about it.
Honestly, like, I'm going to say mine, and then I'm going to say what I was going to say. Who I think is the winning team, I don't even know this man's name. I'm talking about the winning team. Oh, Jonathan, Kuzi, Amal, Santina, the Il Nana, Zach, Dan. What's this girl's name?
Vanessa,
and Shania.
You don't even know two of your people's team name.
Period.
Not giving winners.
Them not the winners. But
you have
that honestly,
who's nothing but a parent.
I'm very happy with my team.
Who is Andrew Tate, and Vanessa, who's a cool mom.
I'm very happy with my team. Like I think when I'm looking at it and it's like who is giving winner, I think they're all on
Daniel, John Michael, Hope, Rob.
I think they're all on my. The only one on your team is giving winner is Daniel. But on my team, I'm like, damn, it's like everybody.
So you're delusional, huh? Let's go ahead and get.
I don't know, y'all. No, put it in the comment. Fuck what I think and fuck what you think. Okay. Comment down below.
Comment down below.
What team looks like it's giving the winning team.
And in general, who do you think gonna win? Who y'all think the division is gonna be? Please send players to unmanifest that Showman's Alliance that I've been manifesting for an hour or so. Please. We don't need that. We don't need that. But I do think overall, now that the whole cast is up here, I mean, y'all can see what I'm saying, though. I mean, I think there's a lot of, like, these dudes, these guys, 3 of them are literally the exact same archetype. Fitness bros.
Literally. Which is why I don't like the casting still a little bit. Because 3 of the dudes are the same archetype and 3 of the girls are the same archetype.
And it's like, that's the thing, the people start saying, oh, you still can play it. It's about the intersectionality of it all. We're talking about Ty, Hope, and Rob, who are 3 POC. 3 different POC from each other, but that's not the point. It's the point that they're all the same archetypes. They're still the archetype. They're still the alpha man. One of them could have been a scholar. One of them could have been, like Farrell said, read the book. Like, no, all 3 have a specific scene in their video where they're shirtless working out.
And it's like, why do we get that 3 times? We only need one of those. In my opinion, we only need one of those. Like, you only got one of them all. So why is there not 3 of them all? Why is there not 3 koozies? Like, I just don't know. Like, I just feel like it's a setup. But we gonna see.
We're gonna see.
What you think? I mean, who you think gonna win? Comment your T or whatever. Period. I know that's the fuck right. Now, as I said, stay tuned with us because we will be here throughout the season. Like we said, Fridays will be confirmed. That other day, which will be Tuesday, maybe for the digital daily, but confirmed every single Friday. Join us when we will be covering Big Brother Canada season 11. If you don't want to watch Big Brother Canada season 11, you can still
watch us.
Period. We are also covering Survivor right now. Every Wednesday we go live after the Survivor show, and we cover that episode. We give you player ratings for both of these shows, Big Brother and Survivor. So if you're into that, get into that. We are also going to be covering the Challenge World Tour.
World Champ.
We'll be covering the Challenge World Champ. So if you're into that or whatever, then get into that or whatever, because we will be covering that or whatever. We're also figuring into Are You the One? If you are fucking with that, I mean, go fuck with that. If not, if you're bored, just go watch it. I don't give a fuck. Period. Other than that, girl, we're out. Mwah. Mwah.